I thank God for the way God created both man and woman. It's a balance. The women being emotional and intuitive is helping us men. And the men being rational is helping the women. If not, if we are the same, there will be problem. But God placed that balance there. So, because of this nature in men, you don't just hijack them. As a leader, you cannot just bounce into men and hijack them. They will think. They will do what? And sometimes you think that they are stubborn. No. They are thinking. They are doing what? They are thinking. So, when you want to sell a vision to men, you yourself, you have to sit down to package the vision. So that, because you know that the men, they will think. When you want to mobilize them. I see a kind of example that we can follow in Acts chapter 17. From verse 16 following. Paul was in Athens. And then he was presenting the gospel and people were listening to him. These people were thinkers. They are not people that you just say one thing and then they will just stand and follow you. And then Paul now addressed them. He said, look, my people, as I go around the city, I saw that you are so religious. You are people who have religious inclination. You love God. I saw an altar that is with inscription, to the unknown God. This God you have been serving, this God you have been offering sacrifices to him, unknown to you, is the God I have come to introduce to you. And he started preaching the gospel, and the people listened. Even though at the end of the day, because of the issue of the resurrection and all that, some of them who never believed in resurrection could not accept. And then at the end of that story, he said, we will come back to this discussion. Let's close it today. Some of them went back to think. People of God, when you are trying to mobilize men for work, some of them, they will not stand with you immediately. Some of them still need to go back and think. And don't say that they have the disregard for your leadership. When I was in the church, for many years, we have evening service. The typical Baptists, they believe that not until we have evening service, the church is not complete. I will labor to prepare a message for morning and evening, and when I come in the evening, sometimes 5 people. 5 people, 6 people, 7 people. I said, what kind of thing is this? So I introduced house fellowship. And there's this influential Baptist who said, Pastor, we must have evening service. I brought it to the church council that I want us to convert our evening service to house fellowship. Let all the fellowship centers be holding. Study the church training that time. And then have some other prayers together. And the typical Baptist said, no way. I said, no problem. So we forgot about it. One day, Avenue Baptist Church Warri, they already moved from evening service to house fellowship. And they had coordinators. So I told the church that on Sunday, we are going to have the coordinators of house fellowship in Avenue to come and give us testimony of what the house fellowship is helping them to achieve. And those coordinators came. And they told us the benefit of having house fellowship on Sunday evening. That typical Baptist man who opposed it, he just pitched me, said, Pastor, can we start today? I said, that was how we were able to get it. They think. They are rational. The next one is that men are highly obliged to family needs. The obligation to their family needs is so strong. No man wants to fail in his responsibility to his family. The average man does not want to fail in his responsibility to his family. As such, men are thoroughly engaged with the demands of their families, with little or no time for church work. How do I pay my children's school fees? How do I pay my house rent? How do I do this? How do I do that? They are preoccupied. They have the burden of their family so much in their hand. Sometimes when there is a building project and you are calling, we need people to give. These men, they have the money with them, but they are preoccupied with the needs of their family. Yes, I have some money, but I need to pay my children's school fees. When I get old, it is these children that will take care of me. So you need to understand that, so that while you try to mobilize them to work, you will also need to address some of these things. Like I used to tell my people, I say, I commend those of you who are committed to the welfare of your children, of your family. Highly commendable. But don't do it at the expense of your relationship with God. Because unless the Lord build, the laborer do what? Labor in vain. So while you are training your children, while you are ministering to your family, you also need to attend to the needs of the kingdom, so that God will be involved with you in the lives of your children. We need to know that. Also, men are saddled with numerous responsibility. Good number of men have busy schedule in their workplaces. At the same time, they belong to other organizations. They belong to other organizations. They are busy. So, that will also determine how you involve them. Don't engage a man in such a way that he will have to spend the whole of his time with you. No. You also know that the men also need to give attention to other things. Men often demand for accountability. So as you mobilize them to work, you need to be accountable. If funds are raised for a purpose, make sure that the fund is used for that purpose. If there is going to be need to divert this fund, you have to carry them along. If not, you can't get them to work again. Men want their opinion to count. And so you need to involve them as you are trying to mobilize them. Let's go to the next session. Mobilizing men for work. The Bible declares in Ephesians chapter 2 verse 10, for we are God's handwork, created in Christ Jesus to do good works, which God prepared in advance for us to do. The Christian life is a call to work. Men should be made to know the biblical perspective of discipleship and stewardship. In discipleship, the Christian is expected to be Christ-like in all disposition. We are expected to be Christ-like. Say, let this mind be in you, which is also in Christ Jesus, who, though he was in his very nature God, did not count equality with God as something to grasp, but he made himself of no reputation by taking up the place of a servant. He humbled himself to the point of even dying on the cross. Every Christian, we need to be Christ-like in all disposition. God must be the ultimate in the Christian life. In John chapter 8, from verse 31, to the Jews who believe in him, Jesus said, if you continue in my word, then you are truly my disciples. You will know the truth, and the truth will set you free. And in Luke chapter 9, verse 23 said, if any man would come after me, let him do what? Deny himself. Say to self, I don't know you. Deny self and take up the cross every day and follow. From the perspective of stewardship, the Christian must know that God owes him his time and his possession, and that all must be committed into God's service. As Russell and Revd rightly observed, God gave man a special place in his creation by giving him dominion over the rest of the world. He made man a steward of his property, which allows him to manage, use, and enjoy God's creation. This stewardship is a trust from God, and man is to follow God's purpose in exercising authority over the rest of creation. Man is to follow God's purpose. Let's underline that.